Now in this setup we're going to look at the volume of a prism. To work out the volume of a cube or a cuboid, a lot of people can easily do this. However, I'm going to look at this as one setup. So I'm going to look at three shapes in particular: the cuboid, the cylinder, and the triangular base prism. In order to work out the volume of each of these three shapes, I can use one formula, and that one formula can be used once I've found the area of the base. So for a cube or cuboid, we're spoiled for choice. Any one of these would do as the base. However, if I take this end here to be the base area, I can find that by using length times breadth. With the cylinder, it is definitely a circle we have to find the area of. So the area of a circle is pi times radius squared, and that's how I find the area of that end side. For a triangular base prism, again, it has to be the triangle that I find the area of. And the area of the triangle is base times by the height halved, i.e. half base times height. Now once you know the area of the end or base of the prism, to work out the volume, all you have to do is times by how long the prism is. So the volume of any prism will always be the base area times by the length. Okay, so to work out the volume of these using the method I've just said, I would start by working out the base area. So the base area of that first one, if I take that to be the end area, is 18 by 12, so 18 times 12, length times width, and 18 times 12, calculator or otherwise, is 216. So the volume of this prism, this cuboid, is that area times by how long the shape is, which is 16. So 216 times 16 comes out on the calculator as 3,456, and that's centimetre cubes. Now I'll do that again, but with the cuboid, as I said, you're spoiled for choice. So I'm going to take that as being my end area, the length and width being 34 and 14. So I've got 34 times 14 is 476. So therefore the volume would equal what I've just said times by the length, which is 19. 9,044 centimetre. Now this method works for all the shapes, as you'll see. However, with the cuboid, you can get away with, for simplicity, just timesing the three numbers together. But that doesn't work for the other shapes. So to find the volume of the triangular base prism, as already said, we start by finding the base area. Now the base area has to be that triangle, which has a base of 14 and a height of 16. And to work out for a triangle, misconception, people tend to do it as if it's a rectangle. Nope, you've got to halve it, half base times height. So we've got a half of 14 times 16, which works out to be 112. So the volume of this first prism is the area we've just worked out times by how long the prism is, which is 19. So I'll times that number by 19, and the result comes out to be 2,128 centimetre cubes. So look at the second one, much the same. To work out the area of that triangle, we've got a base of 7, height of 10, 7 times 10, and then we've got a half that, so that gives us 35. So the volume of this prism will be that value, that area, times by how long the prism is, so times by 9. So we've got 35 times by 9, which is 315 again, centimetre cubes. Now, to work out the volume of these ones, we require the knowledge of area of a circle, as already said, and the area of a circle is pi times the radius squared. Now I can see that the radius of that circle is 4, it tells me that. So I've got pi times 4 squared. So we need the pi button, or knowledge of the pi button on the calculator, which on these Casios is shift, and that button there brings up pi, times by 4 squared button equals. Now it normally brings it up as terms of pi, so 16 pi, but if you press the SD button, that'll tell you the decimal if you wish to write that down instead. We haven't finished though, because the volume is equal to that quantity, i.e. what's on the calculator, times by the length of the cylinder, which in this case is 7. So I times that number by 7, once again it gives it in terms of pi, press that button because I want it to one decimal place. So we've got 351.8, but I'm cutting a 5 off, so I write that as a 9, and that's centimetre cubes. Repeat myself with the second one, however with the second one, when I write pi times radius squared, the radius is not 15. That 15 went all the way across, which is the diameter. So the radius was 7.5, half of that. So shift pi times 7.5 squared equals, once again it's not put it as a decimal, press that button, I get the decimal equivalent. And so the volume is equal to what I've just said, times by the length of that solid, which is 45. So I times that by 45, and again, to one decimal place, I get 7,952.1, but again, I'm cutting a 5 off, so that 1 becomes a 2 centimetre cubes.